There it is, boys. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to be working on a small block Chevrolet 350. It's the 010 casting number. Kind of hard to see it there. 3970010. Small block Chevy 350. Still got the wagon, the Ford wagon. You can see the Mustang ain't here because I sold them. I sold both of the fastback Mustangs, 69 models. Bought another project, something that I'm a little more familiar with, Chevrolet. And that's why I have the Chevrolet motors in the garage tonight. Got another 350 sitting here. This one's clapped out, but it has a Edelbrock aluminum intake and these sweet old school Holley valve covers. Got Chevrolet there, but it is, you can't see it there, but it is a 010 block also. In the truck, here I have short test shaft turbo 350 that we're going to be using in that car that I'm purchasing. Now, the car ain't here yet. Bought the car in Arizona. It is being shipped as we speak. It is on its way here. But we're going to tear into this motor tonight and we're going to take some stuff off of it. And well, you can see that I done got the valve covers off of it, spark plugs out of it. But it is a 2-barrel carb setup. I think come out of a I think this coming out of a pickup truck. Not 100 on that, because I got like a bunch of these old school small block Chevys. But we're going to tear into it. We're going to take the intake off, going to drain the oil, drop the pan, turn it over, check everything out there. I've done been turning it over. It feels decently good, but I think this lifter right here is clapped out. They're gonna have to check those. They're hydraulic lifters, same as probably that motor over there. We'll see what we can do. We're gonna try to do a little budget build. I don't want to spend a lot of money on the motors and transmission, because eventually I want to put a LS like everybody else does, a LS motor in this vehicle that I'm purchasing. But that's what we're gonna do. So let's jump off here. Enough of you rambling on, and let's start taking some junk apart. All right, we're going to start taking the intake off this thing. You just got 2, 4, 6 bolts on this side, 6 on the other, just kind of a simple junk. The reason I kind of picked this motor is because it's not the worst clapped out motor that I got. I got one that's a little, this is probably the best one I got, I guess you would say. But I got this 8-mile extension, because that's just how I like to work with things, you know. I couldn't find the short one, so why not have a foot extension, you know. You might want to get down in these tight crannies here, nooks and crannies. But this is just a simple deal. Take the intake off. We're going to take the other one off on the other motor over there and slap it down on this. But we're going to loosen all these up, and we'll get back at you when we got it off, because you don't want to just sit here and watch me turn bolts with this super long extension. I dropped one. We got the intake off. Now we're going to drain the oil in this bad boy, if there's any in it. Looks like there's some water. That's always the best thing to see. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's always good. Oh, there we go. There's some oil. My pan ain't right spot. So that's always good to see. A little bit of water in the oil. Yeah, that's good. But here's the top of the motor. She don't look too awful bad. Iffy. She'll do for what we're doing. She'll do for where we're going. We just hope that, hopefully that's where I sprayed the motor off there a while ago. I gunked it in the bed of my truck and sprayed it off. Hopefully that's what the water is from. We'll see when we turn it over here in a minute, but it don't look like there's much oil actually in the motor. It's unfortunate that it's in my floor now, but we'll let that drain. We'll flip her over and check out what's going on in the inside of it. Yeah, beautiful. Oh well. Well, here's how she sits now. Got the got it flipped over, got the oil pan off. Used a whole lot of kitty litter. The bag's empty. Kind of forgot that it had antifreeze in it, so that's the situation there. The crap coming off that oil pump is looking pretty rough. I don't know about it. Probably gonna opt to buy a oil pump for this thing. It might be good. Clean it out pretty good or something other. It might be all right. The water that was in it, it's probably more than likely from when I sprayed it off, because it doesn't look very, very rusty or nothing like it's been having water in it. There's a little bit on this crank right here, just a little bit. I haven't turned it over none, so I don't know what the rest of it looks like. But just an inspection of this, you can tell that it's been setting quite some time. The motor I took out of a pickup truck that my cousin had, and my uncle drove this truck, so I know he hadn't hot rodded it. You know, he was an older gentleman. My uncle's passed away now, so kind of kept the motor for, you know, remembrance. So we're gonna throw this thing, like I said, in a vehicle I'm buying. Everything looks pretty good. I may take a rod cap off and a main cap just to kind of check the bearings, see if they're wore any at all. I'll get my light out here in a minute and shine down in there, check the bottom of the piston skirts, kind of look at the cam a little bit, see if it looks wore down in there some. I really don't want to take the motor completely apart because I don't want to do a full rebuild of this thing. I may, like I said, put an oil pump in it while I got it apart down here this far. If the cam and everything looks good, I'm going to hope that those lifters build up. Some of them's kind of iffy, but we don't need oil pressure for where we're going. Just kidding. We'll keep getting into it and dig a little deeper and see what we got here. Turned it over a few times, kind of letting it drain out. The number one cylinder on the intake right there, you can't see that at all, but she's pretty daggum rusty. And same for the number two cylinder, which ain't the number two cylinder, it's 1357 over there. Anyways, for you nerds out there, this motor, I don't know if y'all can see the suffix code there, but the last three, you can't see, is TRJ. TRJ, right there. TRJ is the numbers on it there. And we'll go right here, and if you can see the TRJ right there, that's the one we're looking at. I'll leave it on my finger right here. It's a 1972 350 or a cab, which is a truck. Automatic transmission was bolted to it. We drive on over here. It's 175 horsepower, 4-bolt main, C20 and 30 truck. There we go. It's a 1972 350. For all you nerds out there that like reading those numbers like I do, pretty all right. But we're going to continue on it here. Probably not going to do a lot more to it tonight. We may drop over here and, like I said, start taking off the intake to this motor, valve covers intake, and try to doll them up a little bit with some, grind it down with some wire brush, and dress up the intake a little bit, make it look a little bit more fancy. But as far as this motor, she's looking decent, but not 100%. It might run, but it might miss, smoke, who knows. But we're going to throw it in that vehicle that I bought anyways. So that's what we're going to do now, is let that one drain, and we're going to go ahead and tackle this. Got the kitty litter everywhere. You know, it's a mess, so that's what we're going to do now. It's this. Little nerd thing again here. These heads are 333-882. They're 882 heads. Just looking those up there. I'm not real good with the numbers and what have you. But if you get on here, yeah, I was looking at some cams, but I'm not going to be doing that. I was just checking some junk out. If you get on here, this is the Chevrolet small block cylinder head casting numbers. And if you get here at the 33882, 70 to 80. Now remember, this motor was a 72, I believe it was. 333-882 was on a 350 or a 400, 194 intake. Whoa, Jiminy Cricket. Get back here. 38882, 350 to 400, like I said. It's a 194 intake, 1.5 exhaust, 76 cc. So she's not the best heads in the world, but I think she'll do for our application. Now going over here to this, we got the intake off, and looking inside this motor, she actually looks a lot better. The push rods, lifters, and everything look way better than that motor over there. But the reason I'm not using this motor is I'm going to get the crank right here. I don't know if y'all can hear this or not. Can you hear that? That just does not sound happy, to be honest with you. But I may end up taking water pump off this thing and the harmonic balancer, pulling the timing chain cover, and seeing maybe what kind of cam is in this thing. It might have an aftermarket cam. So if that's the case, if it does, I might go ahead and pull it out of this motor with the lifters and jam it in that thing. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But tonight we are going to call it a day, and this is where we're going to end it, right here. This motor top end took apart, and as well as the other motor took apart, and we got the valve cover here kind of cleaned up. I'm kind of hinting at that color, not for sure. It's a little wild looking. I don't know. Black might be better than this. I'm not for sure. But we got the transmission out right there that we're going to be using. Maybe it's got that kick down linkage crap on it, and I'm not real good at adjusting those, so it'll end up burning out. Not quite sure if the transmission's any count, so we might have to get it rebuilt. Really don't want to go down that route. This motor, right there, we're just gonna put all the junk I took off of that motor back on this motor, clean the intake up. I know it's aluminum, but I'm probably gonna paint it black. I'm gonna paint the motor black more than likely. So that's it, boys and girls. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be continuing working on this and jamming it into the vehicle that I purchased. Hopefully it'll be here in a few days. So we'll see how that goes. Guys, thanks for watching. We love you, and hopefully you subscribe for the builds that's coming. I know I jumped from build to build. I've sold about everything I've had to get this particular vehicle, because it's something I've been wanting for a while. You guys know how it is. If you're car guys or gals, you have something and you want something else, you got to sell something to get something. So that's how it goes. And now we're going to be working on at least something I'm kind of familiar with, a Chevrolet. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Please come back for the next video. Subscribe if you like. We love each and every one of us, and we'll see you on the next video.